You never know what's going to happen when you're on set, though. You never know. Good things happen, bad things happen, memorable things happen, things you never wish would happen sometimes. And that happened on the Rust set. Something you never want to happen ever again, and very memorable, and a lot of shit went down. And Alec Baldwin is still dealing with ramifications from that bad day that happened on set that we never want to talk about again, but we still talk about because shit keeps coming up. And Alec Baldwin has been recharged for manslaughter, but involuntary manslaughter. And now leads me to our featured story of the night. So I know we have talked about this a lot throughout the whole past year, the first season of Cruise Control. This went down last year, and then more and more and more stuff goes down. Of course, we were talking about the armorer and about how she's been charged. Just talked about on Wednesday how she had a plea deal and she turned it down and she said, hey, everybody, like, I don't know what happened. I don't know how that ammunition got there, but it was there. And now Alec Baldwin, again, of course, the charges were dropped. He was happy. He was excited. But the charges have been refiled for involuntary manslaughter by the prosecution. This just went down today, which is honestly exactly to the same day of last year being charged. So he's being charged again for involuntary manslaughter again 1 year later. How is this possible? What is happening? Now, apparently in New Mexico, this is able to happen again. And also on top of this, it was because of the gun, because of the Colt 45. Now, the whole thing that went down, if he does get charged again, if he does get convicted, he gets up to 18 months in prison and a $5,000 in fines for everything. But this went down exactly today, and it's crazy. Of course, Helena Hutchinson was killed during this tragic incident on set. And for me, I've been on set, like I said about Westworld. I think about this Western, I think about Westworld all the time. And we would always have there's a whole regiment for this stuff. There's gun safety is a massive thing on set. The armorer takes the gun out, checks it, opens it up, shows other people. The AD goes to the AD, we pop it up again. We go with the actor pop it up again, show it again, pop it, close it, let the actor hold it. It's a whole thing. And there were some corners cut on here, and the armorer was not trained appropriately. Of course, they had fired the original armorer. She was the assistant armorer. She took over. And then she's claiming she wasn't trained properly. That's her defense. She's trying to claim that this is something that's gone down recently, that Alec Baldwin was in charge of paying for her training. He tried to cut it off at one point. That's why this happened. I don't know if that's true or not. It usually comes down to the armorer. Now, Affleck was let go because of the gun. He said he did not fire the gun, and that was why he was let go. They went through the whole ballistics with the gun, and it was showed that it wasn't fired. They said before that apparently they disassembled the gun, fixed the gun, took it apart. Bunch of things happened. So after all the two special prosecutors went through the whole gun situation, and they had more forensic testing on the gun, and they reconstructed the gun because apparently it broke when they were actually testing it and looking through it, they concluded that it could not have possibly fired without someone pulling the trigger. And that's where these charges come from. So they said back when they dropped the charges a few months ago that they might recharge him if they can prove that the gun had to be fired for her to be shot. And now they're saying they can prove that the gun was physically had to be pulled the trigger for it to be fired. And they're saying that Alec Baldwin did pull the trigger. He lied about it. And that's why they're charging him for involuntary manslaughter. So this is going down. Alec Baldwin's having a bad day right now, I have to say. He's got to go back to New Mexico, go back and testify. His people right now are saying they are excited about, they said we look forward, they're not excited, but they said we look forward to our day in court and talking about this. Now, this is a lot, like reconstructing this gun, and the prosecution up the other day, they're trying to like charge the armorer with like other federal charges because she went to a store with a gun, and they're trying to charge with that because she said that she has no idea where that bullet's coming. They're trying to pressure these people to find out where these bullets came from. And again, there's a lot of negligence on the set. A lot of negligence. People were shooting live arms on set when they shouldn't have been. There should never be any live ammunition on set. That's 100% a no-no on set. If you ever worked on set before, that never happens. Blanks are dangerous enough. We don't need live ammunition. We don't need that shit. Someone get hurt. Look at the fucking Crow. Someone get killed on a blank. They're dangerous enough. But Hannah Gutierrez-Reed is saying, the armorer, she's saying it's not my fault. She's kind of pointing fingers at Alec Baldwin, saying like he cut my money for my training, and that's why this happened. And she will not say why or how the live ammunition came on set. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. We've been talking about this for months, and now he's being charged again. Now, will he go to jail for this? Will he get? Of course, again, it's a lot of time. 18 months in prison. If this goes down, or will he be fine? He's a producer, and that's why they're going after him again. They're saying he cut these costs, and that's why it happened. They have to prove that shit though too, and they claim they have articles saying why it was cut, that he did that, and if they can prove that, that might be one thing. But again, he's an actor and a producer, and a lot of times they're not thinking about that because they trust the people they hire that are supposed to be able to do it. And that's where our conversation starts today. So is Alec Baldwin going to be okay, or will he go to jail? I mean, we don't know. It comes up to the jury. It comes up to everything else. The grand jury said they should be charged again. It's a lot. But as people that have worked on set, been involved in the industry, we have a lot of insight what happens with rifles on set. We're discussing. It means a lot. So let me go to Ron first here on this. So Ron, so Alec Baldwin, it's a lot to digest. And with these new charges, again, I don't know how he's recharged. I mean, honestly, if you drop charges on something, how do you recharge him? There's a gray area because of the evidence they're able to recharge him. But on top of that, do you believe that he should have any kind of ramifications from this? Or do you think that he should be fine because he's done his due diligence already through the process he's gone through on set with everything and the deaths and everything else he's done as a producer?
First of all, it's tragic what happened to her and her family. That dealing with that's horrible. As far as Alec Baldwin, okay, he did not make that decision by himself. There was a committee that made that decision to cut the money. Producers don't do anything by themselves. It's all committee. There's always too many cooks in the kitchen.
Always.
To pin him, it's because he's a name. This is, on me. That it's because he's a name. Let's pin Alec. And I'm sure he's mortified by what happened. I mean, literally, he killed somebody. I'm sure that he's mortified. Who loaded the gun? Why aren't we doing an investigation to find who loaded?
Where the bullets fucking come from?
Who loaded the gun?
Yes.
Okay, money was cut, so somebody didn't train a day. That's horrible. But who loaded the fucking gun? And you know what? The prop guy has the gun. And what you didn't mention, Brian, was they get that gun in the morning. That thing is locked up until it shows its face for the scene.
You're right.
It is under lock and key. Nobody can get in there except prop and the gun handler. So what? And the prop guy took a plea deal like right away. Like he jumped out and said, "I'll whatever."
First they needed to as well.
And the fact that they could redo this, that just boggled my mind. But I guess if you can overturn Roe versus Wade, I guess you can do whatever you want, right?
You can overturn anything in this world these days.
That's where we are, upside down world.
Yeah.
And I feel for Alec because I could not imagine the weight that he feels every day. He has to wake up in the morning with that every single day, and he didn't want that. He didn't plan that. He didn't think about that.
As Ty said, the responsibility of the armor, it always is. Now, the armor is trying to play it off again. This is all back and forth, devil's advocate. The armor says that I wasn't trained enough. I wasn't supposed to have this job. I was thrown into it last minute. I had no idea what I was doing. You fired the armor, you threw me in, and you didn't train me well enough. But there's still I mean, the biggest thing, Ron, is like you don't have live ammunition on a set.
No,
and they were apparently doing target practice during lunch, shooting live ammo. That was a whole thing too. And like, why is that happening on set? And also, why would you do that ever? Like, that's not how sets work. The gun's locked away, and there's no live ammunition. And that's what the armor is trying to say. Well, they were doing it. Anyways, they were shooting targets during lunch. So, and a lot of people walked away. A lot of the crew walked away before this incident happened. They said something bad's going to happen because they were shooting live ammunition. And it's what's the 2 words? Suck it.
Non-union.
No, you're right. Non-union. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's right.
Wrestling.
They were non-union.
They were non-union, and they were
doing this.
No, there's no fucking way. You're going out of California. You're going to a different state. You're trying to find ways to cut budget, and you're going to a state where you can actually cut it down and not have to have union members that would take it fucking seriously. And that's a problem. And honestly, for gun safety, it's a huge issue. In the country and on set always. But people have been hurt so many times on set from people being idiots. And that's when we have all these guidelines put into place. And it sucks. Like I said, I've been on set. That shit doesn't happen. So whatever happened that this person had to take over, it's fucking dumb. And they're trying to go after Alec Baldwin because I think they're saying that at the end of the day, he's a producer,
name.
And they're trying to say he's a name. He's a name, but they're also trying to say that he's the person that cut the budget. That's what they're trying to say right now. He's the person that said, if they can prove,
it's not one guy's idea.
No,
I know it's
not.
not. But if they could prove that it was him, then he'd be in fucking shit, wouldn't he?
No,
They're supposed to be.
How do you prove that?
No, because
Brian?
then
That's what I'm saying.
he comes back with his. Well, I cut the electric budget. I cut the camera budget. I cut everything had to be cut. But then the person that was cut needs to come forward and say, "I don't have the training for this. Grow a set. I don't have that. Even
can I say something? I agree with what Ron said.
Yeah,
I'm the only one on this set right now that can say this. The first time you kill somebody, it hurts.
I didn't hear you.
I mean, beyond words, it hurts.
So this is the first time you kill somebody, it hurts.
Situation, and it was the bad guy, but it's still, you kill somebody, it tears you up.
Jars of that.
Yeah, I'm a combat vet in Vietnam, but that's what I'm saying. It hurts, and I've worked on a couple of sets, not as many as you guys, but a few. But you get a gun, what's the first thing you do? You tear it down and check it.
Clear it.
And here they are on a set with live fucking ammo. Come on. You open a gun up, you're going to know a real bullet from a fake. There's a thing called a bullet at the end of it. Come on, guys. I mean, the whole refiling of this is political bullshit.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to get elected, so they refile the charges. And to answer your question that you asked, Brian, they can refile charges until somebody's proven not guilty.
Correct.
Because they dropped them. That's why they can refile, right?
Oh,
they were never formally charged.
Okay.
You have to go to trial.
Well, he can
and
be
get
formally
acquitted.
charged too, but until he's proven
acquitted.
not, somebody says
guilty or not
guilty. Once they say those two words, you can never be recharged ever.
Yeah, then it's double jeopardy.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
And I'm sorry, this one's kind of emotional for me, as you can tell.
Oh yeah.
It sucks to kill somebody. I mean,
GR, thank you for your service.
Thank you. As the Navy said back in our day, it wasn't a job; it was an adventure.
I believe it, GR. Well, I mean, it's something you go through that you never expect to go through as a person that you. I mean, of course, you're going through
got mad at me,
shit.
Brian, when your dad and I talked at your party.
It's true. I was like, he doesn't tell me that shit. He tells GR, but he doesn't tell me.
And I told him there was one simple reason. Brian, you weren't there.
It wasn't there. You're right. But this whole situation, I feel like they're trying to hit him hard with this. Again, they're refiling it. They've been talking about doing this for a long time. As soon as they drop the charges, well, again. No, they're saying they have, again, the prosecution is saying they have, this is what happened like months ago. They have evidence saying that he was the person that told her, we're cutting all of your funding because we can't afford it. You don't have to be trained anymore. You're going to do the job. And that's it. But do we have that information? Is that really real? I mean, again, that's not what a producer usually does. A producer like go to the armor and tell that. It's not normally how the fucking works on set. Usually there's like somebody else that it goes down to. It's a whole hierarchy of processes. So,
hey, Brian, you know what else? It's always verbal. It's never written. It's always verbal. And so if it happens, it's a producer coming down to the set and saying,
you're right.
And it's not a producer.
But even if the budget's cut, how does that have anything to do with why were there live ammunition on the set?
It goes back to that.
That makes no sense.
Why wasn't the guns checked? So I've done some stage performances before, and even on stage, when we use guns, they're locked up.
Right.
The prop guy unlocks them.
Yeah.
He comes to you. He clears it, shows you it's cleared. Then he asks you, clear the freaking gun. You clear it. Yeah. Show him it's cleared before you go out there on the audience and use that freaking prop. So tell me how
Even
cutting
if
a
it's loaded
budget.
with blanks, right?
Yeah. Oh, blank. I hate blanks. They are a little scary at times.
Yeah.
You can still get hurt with a blank all the time. You get hurt.
Well,
but
that's what killed Bruce Lee's son, right? A
yep,
blank.
Jason Lee.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Queen's
Alec
right.
Baldwin has to be like
special effects.
Alec Baldwin must be like fucking freaking out right now. It's a lot to deal with. You go to set, you try to make a movie. They finish the movie, Jordan. So the movie's in the can. It's done. Do you think that he thought this was over with, or do you think that he saw an inkling that this could still come up?
I mean, it's always in the back of your head. I mean, like the other guy said, he killed somebody. You're not going to forget that. It stays with you, and especially
Forever.
when you're an actor and you never thought that something like this was ever in a wildest imagination was going to happen.
Yeah.
And it did. And I mean, I'm sure his lawyers told him, he's probably got good lawyers. They said this could come back. This could come back. This could happen. But also, he's not the only, he's a scapegoat. There is multiple infractions here that led to this incident, not just one guy.
And I
they're
don't
just
know him, but I feel for Alec. I really do.
Yep.
Because that pressure that you're feeling is something, and I just said it, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but that feeling never goes away. I don't care if you live to be 150. I'll never forget that day in Vietnam, ever. And your dad, Brian, I'm sure doesn't forget his first.
Yeah. He doesn't talk about it. Why would you talk about it? Why would you talk about that shit? It's like, it's something that it's not you're proud of. You're happy about it. It's just something that happened, and then you're in a war zone. But that's a whole different thing than being on set in a professional TV movie set. Like, you're supposed to be safe. We're supposed to be just making.
That's why this one hits harder for him.
Creative. And he's done Westerns before, and now he might go to jail. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. This grand jury said that they thought there's enough evidence to charge him again.
He won't go to jail.
If he goes to jail, I'll buy everybody on the set a round of drinks.
All right. I'm keeping you to that just in case. You never know. But I hope at the end of the day that, because I feel like they're trying to, the big thing about guns on set, I'll say something. I worked on Westworld, I've said it multiple times, but like, they bring in a natural realism to shows, and American Horror Story has done it, other shows I've worked on, and there's a natural like ability to showcase something that you can't do with CG. And the people on set normally are very fucking safe. They have the squibs look great, the rifles, the blanks, it all looks amazing. It's very controlled. It's very understood that this is a fucking gun. It's a risk, and everything you do, and they're able to keep it safe. Unfortunately, whatever was happening here, there was shit going down that shouldn't have been happening. That's not normal. And I hope that at the end of the day, whatever happens with this, they don't try to make it a reflection on Hollywood that you can't do this anymore, because we've been doing it since John Wayne back in the day till now. We've been able to be safe until today. And unfortunately, shit does go wrong when the wrong people are in charge. And that's a problem, because that Gautier should never have been that armorer. She was not trained enough. She should have been the first. She should have opened that rifle and known there were actual bullets in there. And then she should have been, it's on her at the end of the day. It always will be. And everybody else is just running through the motions. Like, we trust the people we hire. And I worry that it's going to reflect on Hollywood bad. That's all it is.
Hey, Brian, yeah. I have a question. Is it her family that's going after him again, or is it the state? Who's going after?
It's the state. It's not the family.
Then you know
husband.
What? I feel for the family. My God, they put this to rest, probably.
They did,
and now the whole thing's coming up again. And the poor, she has kids. She had young kids, so they're a little older now. That is horrific to me. That is, her
husband, Ron,
about anybody else.
Her husband worked out a deal. Well, it's true. I mean, that's also like whatever they're doing, they're trying to attack Hollywood. Her husband actually worked out a deal with Alec Baldwin. They sat down, they worked through it all. And this is kind of weird, but also like, okay, he worked it out. So he's an executive producer on the film. They finished the film in memory of her. They went through all the motions, and they're partners in the movie now because of the whole thing. I mean, you look at it two ways. It's weird. It's a little weird. Two ways. Look at it like, okay, well, honoring her, but also, are you paying him off?
Right.
That's a weird thing too, because it happened very fast afterwards that he was suing them, and the family was suing Alec Baldwin, and then all of a sudden they had this deal, and he became an executive producer.
Like a payoff.
He became
Totally a payoff. Yeah,
I know. And he's like, he gave a whole statement about he's fine, it's good, it's just for my wife's memory, and then the movie got finished. So it's really weird. And that's why all their stuff dropped right away. They dropped pretty fast within within a month. Within a month, it all dropped. Mm-hmm. And that was a weird thing for me. Again, whatever they offered them money wise, whatever, I guess it was good. I mean, how do you waste someone's life? You know what I mean? It's like your wife, your mother, your children. I don't know, but honestly, I don't think at the end of the day, I think there's a lot of negligence happening on this set. And this is what happens on non-union a lot of time, as Ron said. And it's unfortunate, but we have unions for a reason to make sure this shit doesn't happen. And look at the whole, what's her name? Sarah, the train thing, Sarah, whatever. Remember Sarah Brown, the girl on the train. I don't know if you remember that run. Happened right before COVID. There was an AC. I remember it was on every slate I worked on for shows for a long time, where they were shooting a movie and it was non-union. They weren't supposed to be there. And they had a dream sequence on train tracks. So it was a bed on train tracks. And they were like, okay, we're going to shoot this sequence. And so they were shooting it, and a train starts coming. Yeah. And if anybody knows how to guerrilla style shit, if you don't have, they didn't have permits, but if you don't have permits, even if you're doing that shit, which I don't say you should do that, but if you do it, you have a PA a mile that way and a mile that way with walkies. You say a train is coming. They didn't have that. All of a sudden, they're on the train track shooting a sequence, and there's a train right there, and they start rushing to get the bed off the set, get everything off the set, get the cameras off the set. And then the DP yells at the AC to be like, hey, get that camera now. That's a lot of money. Get it off. So she runs back to grab the camera, and she gets hit by a train and dies.
Yep.
Oh,
I remember that.
It was a whole thing. And again, it's just being negligent towards what you have to do to be safe on set. And that woman lost her life. It's very unfortunate. And that's a whole other thing before it happened. I remember every camera. I worked on every fucking set during that time. On the slate, it'd be like, remember Sarah, I can't remember her last name, Sarah, whatever.
Oh, yeah, there were the pins and everything.
Pins,
she was on the slate. Everything. Yeah.
The director was crazy, right, Racer X? It was a whole thing. And that's not what you do. But that was non-union, and they didn't even again, I do not support this kind of shit. I've done it. I've done guerrilla style shit. But if you're going to do guerrilla style shit, you have to be very smart about it. And you have to work as if you have that permit and what you would do. And they should have had PAs at least a mile away on each side to watch if a train comes, so they have enough time to get everything off the track and be safe. Again, you don't usually do this on a train. That's an insane situation to do as a non-union, like guerrilla style, no permits. That's insane. I would never do that shit as a producer. But if you were going to do it, they fucked it all up, and that woman lost her life again. And these things happen. Yeah.
You just don't.
And then they blame Hollywood.
You stand up for yourself also. I remember there was an 88 earthquake in Whittier, I guess. We felt it up here in Studio City, and I was shooting. And after the earthquake, my boss came up to me and said, go up high, check the perms, make sure everything's safe. And I looked at him, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. No, I was like 22 years old. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going up there. What if they're not safe? I'm going to fall. And, I chose some not choice words, and
happens.
No.
I said, I'm going to go to my dad's office, so you can just call me up there. But it's just like,
Ron, my sister lived there when that happened.
Okay.
I grew up in Whittier, and she was living up there where it happened.
That's crazy. Oh, yeah. You stand up for yourself. I'm like, I'm not going up there. No. Mm-mm.
You're not gonna do that shit. It's not appropriate, and it's also not safe. I mean, sometimes you gotta stand up for yourself and do that. But unfortunately, what happened with this armor? She didn't do it. Maybe she's too green. Maybe she didn't know. But at the end of the day,
even if she didn't know, general gun safety. I mean,
it's a huge thing.
Yeah.
No matter how little class you had studying, training, it's a big thing that's very, very, very important on set. And we're going to have to wait to see what happens to Alec Baldwin, because I don't know. I feel like the state's trying to go after him, and they're trying to make an example. And I hope at the end of the day, it doesn't affect the art and the craft from making realistic performances that bring true art to the screen, because I think we could lose that very easily. And CG does not do it right. And we can do it safe on set. We can do it safe on set so easily, Ron. We've been doing it since I got John Wayne, Clint Eastwood back in the day. We've been doing it for a long time, and it's been fine. And you know what? Certain people cutting budgets, being fucking too whatever about it, being too lackadaisical about it, have fucked it up for everybody. And unfortunately,
too tight
people have
with their
lost their
money.
lives.
They want to show off. They want to, I'm going to save money with the studio. They're going to like me. They're going to put me on the next show.
I can do it.
Me, you know? Hey, Brian, why did they finish the movie? I think that's in really bad taste.
They said that because after the lawsuit was worked out between her husband and Alec Baldwin's production company and everything, part of it was we're able to finish the movie. And they were saying that it was like it was almost done. It wasn't that much. I think they shot for like another month. They were able with that deal to finish the movie. And so Alec Baldwin said, let's just do it. And so they went back to set. I don't know.
So hush money.
It was March to, I think it was March to April, like maybe mid-May. It was like a month and a half. And they finished it. And they said, they kept saying, Ron, it's in memory of her, for her legacy.
That's what
they kept saying. And the movie is not
they asked the family
yet.
They probably gave money to the family to finish the movie.
Because the husband was suing. The husband was suing everything. That's what started everything. The husband started suing shit. He was pissed. Yeah. It was a whole thing. And all of a sudden, the husband just backed off. Yep. Oh, I'm great. I'm an executive producer now. It's fine. And it was like, what? Yeah, he's executive producer now.
In TV, you see that you go ahead with it, and you make a dedication at the end of a show because the show is continually going. But a movie. It doesn't need to. It's a movie. It's a fucking non-union movie. It doesn't need to be made. Now the family gets to go through that again. The release of it, the press of it. Now they get to go through all that again. Those kids get to live through it again. It's just it's
unfortunate.
It's not right. I'm gonna kick some ass. Yeah. I'm done.
Yep. I agree with you, Ron. It sucks, and I think there is a deal that happened behind closed doors. Yeah. And I think overall, the state is trying to go. Loveless?
What?
Behind closed doors? I'm sorry. Again, I'm dating myself.
He's dating himself.
Ron, GR, date away. Date away, man. You date away as much as you need to.
Well, at least Ron knows what I'm talking about.
Stop pulling me into your aging yourself.
I'm sorry, Ron. I'm sorry. I was talking to you. You're on my mind. I'm sorry.
No, I'm talking to GR. He's like, well, Ron and I know what it was like in the 40s.
We're sort of in the same age group, or at least close.
I think Ron's dad is in your age. I'm sorry, GR. Ron's dad, maybe.
Oh
no, I bet I'm close.
Me and Brian remember what it's like in the 90s, okay?
GR, 50s or 60s. Your years.
Brian, I'll say this politely. Fuck off and die.
I love you, GR.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
Anyways, this is happening.
Sabrina was on set there for a minute.
Oh shit. Anyways, overall, this is happening. Alec Baldwin has been charged again. And overall, he's going to have to go to court in New Mexico to deal with this. And we'll have to see what happens moving forward. Will he be charged? Will he be convicted? Will he get out of it? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen because honestly, it seems like that prosecution is really gung-ho to take him down and take down the entertainment industry because of all this shit. End of the day, I think a lot of fucking bad shit happened on this set that doesn't normally happen, but it does happen on non-union sets. And I think that it's very unfortunate. Someone lost their life that was supposed to be maybe the next DP that conquered Hollywood. Maybe she was going to be the next fucking whatever to make the best performances ever and to bring cinema to life again in a way that we've never seen before. And her life was cut short based off an incident that never should have happened because of people not following gun safety the way they should have. And again, at the end of the day, it always falls in the armor. Everyone take a drink, GR. GR, take a drink.
Yes, sir.
But at the end of the day, it comes down to responsibility.
Thank you, Racer.
Dedication. And honesty on set. You got to take care of all those things, and you have to make sure that people are safe. If they're not safe, you say, cut, stop. We're not doing this. That didn't happen on that set. And unfortunately, someone lost their life. Hopefully it never happens again.
When producers would ask me to do something that I knew wasn't safe, and they're like, but you can do it. It'll just cost less, or we'll throw you some more money. And I'm like, yep, not safe. And they completely changed their tune. They're like, okay, well, if you said that, I'm like, yep, not safe.
Those words were there, Ron, changed the world. Not safe. All I have to say, not safe. Done.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And you know what? It didn't happen on that set. And she lost her life for no reason. Yeah.
And
you know what? Hopefully
for nothing.
Yep.
Hopefully it never happens again.
Yo, player, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we are live. And if you are able to join our Patreon, please join. Cause the pep star needs more snickety snacks. Cause I'm hungry. Holla back. Love y'all.